how's it going, RC Airliner fans? Demondriver here once again for another RC Airliner assembly line video. And apparently you guys like these videos, so I want to show you the planes that are being built in the Demon Works that are coming along, that are currently being built. And we have in front of us here a Lufthansa Airbus A300, circa about 1976. The first year, I think the first year Lufthansa brought the A300 in was 75 and 76. And then we have an A310, Airbus A310, Pan American, circa about 1986, 1987. So let's have a look at these brand new birds slowly being built, and if they look the way they do, that's because they're being built. Assembly line video, they're being built. So let's have a closer look at these planes, and I'm honored to have you here. Thank you. All right, let's have a closer look at these two girls here. We've got our A300 Lufthansa and our A310 Pan American, late 70s, late 80s. Let's have a closer look at the Lufthansa A300 B4 model. This is the model that came out after the B2 model. The B4 is sometimes known as the 200. The B4. And then you got the 600, variations of engines, fuel capacity, range, and variations of structural components that have been changed and improvements through the years. Yeah, this plane is 7 feet long, and in many ways it has a lot of similarities to the first A300 American A300 that I built, A300 600, about 7 years ago. I built that for a customer, and that was a real beautiful airplane. The only real similarities with this A300 with that A300 was the central fuselage tube. That's the only real same thing. And of course, we've got white styrofoam hollowed out tail section, white styrofoam hollowed out nose section. On the first version it had blue foam. Blue foam hollowed out nose, blue foam hollowed out tail. This version has white styrofoam nose and tail, hot wired white styrofoam wings, laminated with 1/32 balsa. We have white styrofoam core elevators and stabilizers sandwiched with 1/32 balsa sheet with solid balsa elevators, solid balsa rudder, but a white styrofoam laminated tail, balsa leading edge. Decals are still on the way, of course. Got to do more finishing work. Flaps have not been installed yet. Inboard aileron. As you know, the A300 does not have outboard ailerons. It uses a mixture of spoilers and the inboard aileron to give yaw inputs in control. We have molded scale the original Pratt & Whitney, the old nacelles that were designed for the B2 and the B4, the 200. 600 started to use different engines, much more similar to the 310's engine nacelles, very similar. Get a better look at the plane head on. And as you can see, this is a very big airplane. This is a 84 inches long, wingspan of about 6 feet. Big plane, very large airplane. But relatively short wingspan compared to the plane itself. Airbus gave it a very high lift, efficient wing with very efficient flaps, leading edge slats. This plane will have all those things. It will have all of them. It'll have a single piece entire leading edge slat that moves just like the real A300. It will have an inboard aileron. I'm still thinking of whether or not to put the add an outboard aileron that it does not have, that the real plane does not have. And let's look at possible engines here, possible EDFs that we're going to use. We've got all aluminum 90mm Dr. Mad thrust. We have a aluminum but plastic fan blade Dr. Mad thrust 90mm, and then we have Old Faithful, tried and true, the Delta V 80mm from E-Flight. It's a good EDF. It puts out about 5.5 pounds of thrust on a 6-cell 22-volt battery. This can put out an easy 7 to 8 pounds of thrust. This can put out about 6 pounds of thrust and 5.5. So any one of these three EDFs could power the A300 or the A310. Yes, indeed. And of course, under the wings, we have our structure of carbon fiber rods running through the wings. The pylons are, the engine EDF pylons are just plywood cut. They will be reinforced with carbon fiber rods running like that. The actual mounting hook, it's just taped into place right now because obviously this plane's still being built. For this video I taped it into place, but that is a carbon fiber mounting tab that hooks up into these two carbon fiber rods that run through the wing. Gives tremendous strength, tremendous strength. Yes indeed, and that's our that's the A300 B4 of Lufthansa, circa about 1975-76. And we have, last but not least, Airbus A310 300, circa about 1986-87. This is going to be a Pan American, Pan Am. It's going to have the big Pan Am right down the fuselage. You guys know that plane, you've seen it. I hope you've seen it. This plane is about 10 inches shorter than the A300. Now, in reality, in real life, what Airbus did was they said they wanted, or the airlines said they wanted an airliner that had greater range than the A300. Greater range, a little bit more fuel efficiency, and that could go, you know, fly from, let's say, Moscow all the way to Hong Kong, non-stop, or you know, London, maybe, you know, to Buenos Aires or something like that. This was the plane to do that. It was a shorter, it had a shorter fuselage fore and after the wing, and it had a slightly different wing. The chord of the wing was a little bit thinner than the A300. The chord was just a tad, maybe a foot thinner, and there was a glove that has not been added yet, but there was a lip glove at the root of the wing that meets the fuselage. It's a little glove that fits in right there. The engines were different. She had different engines, a completely different engine nacelle than the A300 itself. If I'm not mistaken, she utilized the Pratt Whitney JT9D, and it was just when they developed the A310, they basically made improvements to the A300. They made the aerodynamic improvements to this plane and put it in the A310. And the engines were one of those improvements, the engine nacelle itself. So if you look at that engine nacelle, and then you take a look at what I call the egg-type engine nacelle, you can see the difference. The engine nacelle of the A300 is very reminiscent of that of the DC-10. Very similar engines. So this plane, both of these planes, the main fuselages, I built the main fuselages for these planes about 3 years ago. So they've been being worked on for quite some time, but I've been really making some good progress as of late. So let's walk around this plane, get a better view of this girl. The A310 was a competitor directly to the 767, Boeing 767. They're roughly about, the 200 and the A310 are roughly the same size. We have the Pan Am decal logo on the tail here. I'm going to take this off because it's not big enough. I'm going to have to reprint this. The actual globe was a little bit bigger than that. Yeah, when I put that on there, I said, okay, that's not the right size. So it's roughly the same design, same building technique as the A300. The A310 here, again, has white styrofoam core stabilizers with carbon fiber rods running through, 2 per left and right, solid balsa elevator. We have a white styrofoam tail, solid balsa rudder, 2 carbon fibers running straight on through for strength. The wings are white styrofoam, hot wired. Airfoil, an airfoil, then a hot wire over it, and giving me a perfect, much more efficient shape than the old Depron card model method. There's a lot of merit to the card model method. I like the card model method. I try and, what we have here is kind of the center fuse section is bulkheads riding down a foam backbone that has a carbon fiber rod down it. Each cross section is hollowed out to a degree, has a weight-saving hole. Then the backbone has weight-saving holes. So it's a mixture of card model method and then my own methods. This is an older blue foam nose, exactly how I built my original A300 600 American 7 years ago. Tail section's the same, hollowed out. But we have a white styrofoam wing box or wing core, white styrofoam wings, hollowed out, hot wired out. And we have a white styrofoam wing core, same on the A300. So the weight savings really for this plane come in with the white styrofoam hot wired wings and the white styrofoam wing core, the white styrofoam elevators, they're a little bit lighter. And of course on the A300 we have a white styrofoam tail and nose, white styrofoam wing, white styrofoam central wing section. And what the white styrofoam over blue foam and pink foam is, it is roughly, I would say 50% lighter. White styrofoam is 50% lighter than blue foam or pink foam. I no longer use blue foam and or pink foam. It is obsolete, and it's just white styrofoam is just, it's just more efficient. It's lighter, and therefore it is just it's a better material to use, better foam to use. If you're, scratch building, you want to start looking into white styrofoam. And once you reinforce it with carbon fiber the way I do, it's damn near impregnable. Now this A310 will be powered, since it's about half a pound lighter than the A300 right here, it will be powered by easily 2 90mm EDFs, or it could easily use the 80mm Delta V without a problem. Like I said, 5.5 pounds of thrust, doubled, that's 11 pounds of thrust. With this Dr. Matt thrust 90mm, you're talking about 12 pounds of thrust, and then right here, you're talking more like 14 pounds of thrust. Full aluminum, full alloy EDF. And these planes are both being built. I work on them, I try and do a little work on them every day. And then I have about 5 customer builds that I'm working on every day. And that's really what my day is. I just get up in the morning, or my morning, depending on whatever time that is, and then I just start building. And I build, stop to eat, stop to go to the bathroom, stop to take Shannon out to get something to eat, or we together, or talk for a little bit, have a cup of coffee, and then I get right back to it. So about 9 to 10 hours a day of work, and every day except the weekends. So it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun, my friends, lots of fun. So yeah, so these planes will be finished before you know it. They'll be maidening. Well, I say before you know it, but that could be, you know, either one of these planes could be half a year or a year from now. So, but they will fly and they will get finished. And that's the beauty of scratch building. You can basically create whatever you want. These are not kits. These are not ARFs. I made these from scratch, and if I can do it, you can do it. No reason you can't build these planes. None. Absolutely none. You can do it too. I guarantee it. You just need a little bit of discipline, some time, and you can do it. You can absolutely do it, my friends. There you have it, my friends. A300 Lufthansa, A310 Pan Am, both on the Demondriver assembly line, both being built as we speak. And I'm grateful for you guys being here. I'm thankful for you guys spending time and watching these videos. More to come. I'm going to have about one assembly line video every month with RC Airliners that I'm building. There's another one coming up soon, so keep your eyes peeled. And again, I'm always grateful for your time and for you subscribing. Thank you. Bye-bye.